What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 Old World AI only game. As you can see, the info addicts opened just there, so I'm hoping they will open. I'm not going to run any turns this episode, so I'm hoping it will open again. I thought it wouldn't make sense if I didn't preview the map first, so I thought I'd show. We've gone to 450, a lot happened, but it also took the best part of 2 days, so yeah, that's why it wasn't all in episodes, and I say a lot has happened. So it's not exactly... I don't know, some cool things have happened. I wouldn't say anything's dramatically changed, like beyond recognition of what we had before. So I'm going to start somewhere. I'm going to work my way around. I'll start at the bottom of South America. So the Zulu, pretty in control here, as we saw before. That Rome took this, of course, off Portugal. But apart from that, it's the same. But you can see some of the cities here are now really good sized. 29 here for Ethiopia, 24, 26, 24, flying submarine there. Ignore that. France then in northern South America, you can see a pretty French dominant Caribbean, although Rome did sneak in there a bit towards the end. Japan, and what remains of Japan, bit of a spoiler, they only had one other city or 2 other cities, so that's not a huge loss, but there's Japan with a ton of 0 planes. Ethiopia kept their Mexico, then the Ottomans. Harappa took this off Babylon. I think that might have actually happened before last time. As you can see, Korea did take out the Japanese cities here. France kicked Congo out, although there has obviously been a nuke used. I think there was, I think it was with Congo. Well, it was with Congo, but Congo started pretty well. They actually took 2 French cities, but then France just came over with everything and won. But initially, obviously, Congo was better prepared. But yeah, France now a pretty huge power in the world. As you see, very dominant in the Caribbean, North America. I haven't looked. I don't know who's won. I haven't done that. We're not going to do a pure result, but there you go. France do look very good. We're not going to do a pure result as such because it would probably be unfair on Korea and probably some of the other civs. I think everyone alive is probably on 80 techs. Germany has their own little Canada, and England has a little bit too, but Germany's taken a bit from there. I think Germany just got Liverpool here in a peace deal as well. That was a few turns ago. I was sort of sat here towards the end making sure it all ran okay. Right, I'm a bit nervous to go over Rome because they have got a ton of units. So I'm going to sort of skirt around them. You can see Lisbon there. Here is a lot of Roman units. But yeah, Rome is kind of the same. So I'm going to go up past that. Actually, I'm just going to come down to North Africa. Yeah, this is the same as it was. So they may have settled more inside. But I'm going to try and avoid them just because it will crash probably if I hover over them. I'll show you where they have grown, but we don't need to look at that. France, you can see Roman units all throughout Germany. Now, there was a crazy war up here. We had it. Poland and Finland were at war, right? And Poland was being attacked with the Ottomans from the south. Rome came in then and just cleared out Poland, but it looks like Finland did get some stuff out of that too. So that's how they've divided this. Rome just with so much stuff. Rome just killed Wallachia about 2 turns ago. They were still here. So that's ended. And then also on this side, Russia took out the Ottomans. They took all the cities off of them. But then themselves, I don't believe, have done anything of note. Finland is still the same. Persia's actually still kicking around. We are going on a weird route. We'll come back through. We'll go round Asia and then back round again down through the Middle East into Africa. Mongolia stacked. Look at this, 10 missiles, everything they could possibly want. Giant death robots. So that's why a result wouldn't be fair through the info addicts. Korea is then here. They took Kyoto. Did a bit of settling. I don't think they did anything else super crazy since the end. India is pretty much the same as well. You see big cities. They are very dominant though in Indonesia now, and they haven't gone after the Zulu yet, but they are pretty dominant here with Indonesia. I think they've kicked the Congo back a bit. That's who it was who had some other territory out here to compete with. Maybe Ethiopia. Harappa still around, doing fine at the moment. I mean, everyone has like nukes and everything, so wars are very costly. Ethiopia, yeah, again, just stacked with units, as you can see. Persia, Babylon, gone. Nubia did get a city here out of the Ottomans as well, I should say. And then, right, you can just see it's a mess of units. This is still a Congo-Nubian mess. Those two have not fought each other, but Nubia is currently at war with the Songhai. Mali is the same as they were. And then, yeah, coming down, Congo. I don't know why there's a ton of Roman air units hit, or what are they like, paratrooper equivalent, XCOM squads and stuff here. I don't know what they're doing. And there's the Zulu and all of their territory. But that's the map. And yeah, Rome is, I think everything else that Rome had that I'm not going to scroll over for I don't want it to crash. It's fine. So I'm going to go back to zooming into this corner and hope I bet it will crash this time. Oh no, it was fine. Nice. Well then, let's have a go. Population. Russia was winning this for pretty much all of the episodes. Maybe not at the end, but we didn't really check. But most of the episodes, or normal episodes, Russia was on top. And as you see, they've fallen right off. France leads, although it's much closer than other games. 104 million for France, 101 for Korea, then only 96 so the Zulu. So that's very close between the top three. Then India, Rome, then Russia, then Nubia, and those are all within the same 10 million. Then Congo, Ethiopia, and Finland filling out the top 10. How many is there? Okay, there's a few too many maybe to do all of them for every category, but we'll do it for some. Crop yield. France leads the way now, ahead of the Zulu. So yeah, those two civs that were the big winners in the New World in this game. Normally it doesn't make much difference, right? It's either the best civ anyway was the one that got there, so it just adds to their lead, or it's just too little too late. But in this game, maybe because it's run on for so long, because there was less civs at the start, or not run on for so, it's run better further into the future. It's very rare we have every civ at the end pretty much of tech trees. But yeah, I think those two have really benefited from that. You can see they lead in those categories. Obviously they're linked, crop yield and population. Rome is third, Korea, India, Russia, Ethiopia, Congo, Nubia, and then Mongolia comes into 10. Production, then the Zulu actually lead the way. Wow, I didn't expect that. France then in second, then Rome, India, Korea, Ethiopia, Russia, Mongolia, Congo and Nubia. Biggest economies, again the Zulu, then France, Rome, Russia, Korea, India, Ethiopia, Harappa, Mongolia and Congo. Wow, Zulu maybe the... No, we're not counting points this time, but maybe we would have won. France is the biggest in land, although this does include the sea. But the mini map, yeah, they have a huge part. You know, they have most of the USA, they have most of Canada, they have the Caribbean and most of the Atlantic with that, or a big chunk of it with that. They have a big part in North and South America. They have Portugal, which is pretty big, and more of the Atlantic. And then, you know, they're European, they're French, and sort of France, and not even all of France, actually. Paris is about all they have in France, but they also have the sort of Benelux and Western Germany regions for themselves. The Zulu, then in second place with Eastern Australia, Southern Africa, South America. We also have New Zealand as well, and obviously sea tiles again, but I'll stop mentioning those and we'll just take that into account. Korea, East Asia, Japan, Southeast Asia, and sort of Northwest. It's not Alaska, but on this map it's kind of the equivalent, right? That northwestern corner of the US, Canada, of North America, because there's no Alaska on this map. And I don't, is it like British Columbia? Is that what it's called in Canada? Maybe. Sorry if I got that wrong. Rome, third. Maybe surprising. They are huge, but they have pretty much nothing. They have 2 Caribbean islands and sort of a city towards Peru, modern day Peru, but that's it. And yeah, I mean they have a big chunk of North Africa. They have Spain, southern France, Brittany, Cornwall in England. They have all of Italy and the islands there. They have a big chunk of Eastern Europe now and the Balkans, and they have Berlin, I think, as well. So, or do they have is it Berlin? No, they have Hamburg, right? The other German city, not Berlin. India, yep, again another one. They have northeastern India, or modern day northeast India, Bangladesh territory, a bit of southern China, where there's a bit of border gore, Indonesia and Western Australia. Ethiopia, obviously we can see they have the East Africa sort of region. They have the Arabian Peninsula. They have half of Mexico, and then they also have, I think, the big island of Hawaii. And they have that little city in Brazil as well. Well, not little, it's huge, but it's a small part of the land. Russia then up there in 7th with sort of western modern day Russia and Turkey. Germany, is that, yeah, that's probably the best way to describe that. Germany has Berlin, Denmark, Scandinavia, and a little bit of Canada and Wales. Harappa, surprised Harappa's on. I was going to say I'm surprised, and then as soon as I looked at the minimap I was like, wait a minute, no I'm not. They have Western India, they have that little bit of Babylon on the bottom of the Caspian Sea, but their city in California, and they have 2 now, and they're 2 of the biggest, but the one that they originally settled has probably got the best like tile to city ratio I've ever seen, so that it's huge. But yeah, I mean, if you look at it, you can't, I don't know if you're on a phone or whatever, this might be quite hard, but if you're on like desktop or the TV, you can kind of see on the mini-map in the corner now, it's a bit dull, but down here France is, you know, taking up most of this, but Harappa only has 2 cities, so tiles per city, if you did some maths, they blow France out of the water. That's not an important stat, but you know, it's interesting that city in itself is so huge. Nubia then comes in at 10th, and that's kind of hard for me to tell because they're so mixed in with Congo, who themselves are 12th, and Mongolia is also quite big. So there you go. Biggest military, the one we want to see, and here is really interesting because the rest of the world, the stats so far have shown that France and the Zulu have really caught up. That big three of Rome, Korea, Russia did not hold on to the lead position, but here, I don't know what contributes to this at this point. Maybe it's just time since they've lost a lot of units and they've just rebuilds. You know, production we've seen it wasn't this dominant. Rome has a nearly double as much as the next best military. There's four with between 1 and 1.1 million there, and Rome's got 2.1, so nearly 2.2. So I don't know why that is, but there you go. Rome's got the most. Then India, France, Finland, and Ethiopia, which is an interesting mix. I wouldn't have picked Finland or for Ethiopia probably to be in the top 5. India is miles ahead of Korea. That was probably unthinkable in the last episode, so that's pretty wild. Zulu in 6th, Russia 7, 8 is Mongolia, 9 is Korea, and 10 is Congo. Maybe who you border is influencing this. Maybe that's who it is, like some civs. Mongolia, right? That's a crazy amount, but theirs actually only matters relative to Russia and Korea, which in that case they're absolutely fine as long as they don't team up on them. They're fine. Rome, I guess, probably does have to think about France. They have to think about Russia. They have to think about Finland. So maybe that is what, and obviously Congo and Nubia as well in the south. Rome borders almost all, yeah, so many. So maybe that's something that the AI thinks about a bit more. Again, I'm not saying Mongolia could match Rome at 2 million, but it might play a part in why Rome's is so high compared to everyone else's. Social policies, Harappa with the most, then Korea, France, Rome, Russia, Finland, Poland, India, Congo, and Songhai. Happiness, was anyone? They're all pretty high, like hundreds. No one's in the negatives, that's fine. And we only lost 6 civs all game. England, sorry, not England. Morocco, Portugal, China, Carthage, the Huns, and Siam. Okay, Burundi's gone as well, to be fair. Maybe Burundi, Japan is still around. Burundi, Egypt. Okay, some of these are also dead, never mind. Oops. Burundi, Egypt, Wallachia are all gone as well. Probably some more Babylon. Yeah, okay, and the Ottomans. Okay, never mind. Technologies, almost everyone who's left is on 80. The lowest survivor I can see here is Byzantium on 63, who have had one city for most of the game at this point. The Ottomans are gone. The next one is Japan, who are obviously now down to 1 at 67. Poland were the last civ, I think, to be eliminated at 73. England then at 76. So yeah, anyone with multiple cities is like fairly high up. Germany 77, Zulu 79, Mongolia, Ethiopia, Songhai. So these guys are all 1 away, and then the rest have got to 80. And I don't know what order this is in. I think this resets each time you reopen. So if you keep the game running from the first time someone hits 80, I think it will be in order of who got there first. But as I've reset it and like reloaded, it's not. So, and obviously Korea was at 80 before the last episode even ended, so it doesn't matter. Net gold, this might be influencing the money, the units, because obviously some will be getting deleted. I mean, Rome is losing 1,000 net gold per turn. I don't know what is in their treasury. We don't really look at treasury, so I'll just check. I mean, they can afford that for 16 more turns, and then I don't know what happens. Russia's making a lot though, but we don't really use net gold because we used gold per turn. Cities then, who has the most? The Zulu have 40. I mean, it doesn't seem like that, but there you go, 40. France with 34, Rome at 31, 20 for India, 19 for Korea, 14 for Russia and Ethiopia, 10 for Mongolia and Germany, and 9 for Nubia. I would not have said that Germany had more cities than Nubia and Congo, but I think it is because they just are so intertwined with each other. I feel like we should combine Nubia and Congo because their borders are just completely intertwined. They've got a similar background colour, so you can't really distinguish them on the mini-map. They haven't fought each other at all, I don't think, so you can kind of count them as the same, but never mind. Science output then, not particularly important again because everyone's finished, but Korea with a whopping 4,000, nearly not twice as much, but twice as much compared to everyone but France and the Zulu, who are starting to grow. Culture then, France leads Rome, then the Zulu, Harappa, Russia, Korea, India, Congo, Mongolia and Ethiopia. Most wonders, Korea with 10, 9 for Harappa, 7 for Russia, 6 for Nubia, 2 for India, France, Rome, and then 1 for a few others, including Persia. Good job, Persia. I think everyone who's alive might have... Oh no, Ethiopia's missing out. Never mind, I spoke too soon. Treasury, faith... We'll look at religion separately in a second, don't worry. Influential. France has influenced 22 civs. That might be enough. I don't know if the thing came up. No, it would have come up, right? It would have ended the game, but... That must be very close to enough. I mean, there's only 20 on this list, but then there must be, like, Persia's here, so... I'm not saying it's not Persia's not the one. I know that. It's like, but it means there's more than 21, and they have 22, so... Yeah, I assume there's a few more to go. Maybe if they get, not Japan or Persia, but, 1, 2... yeah, like them. Couple more, then they might be 2 away, but you might never get them. That might be like Rome or something. So yeah, great works. 23 for Korea, 22 for Harappa and Rome, 19 for Russia, 18 for France, 16 for Congo and Songhai, 14 for the Zulu, 13 for India, and 12 for Finland. Trade routes not super important. Harappa's must have got some of the wonders to get 10. Rome again with 9, and then lots of 8s. And then finally tourism, France pretty dominant over Rome, then Russia, Harappa, Korea, Congo, the Zulu, India, Nubia, and Songhai. That is probably, I'm not going to do it, so it doesn't matter, we'll never know, and I think that's kind of nice. This would be the closest, like, messiest Info Addicts results I've ever done, because I don't think there was a clear winner in there. I might be wrong. I'll use the demographics as a better... Maybe France and the Zulu, based on this, would have come out on aggregate better off, but we'll never know. Well, we could. Someone could pause it and go through and do it all. But I'm going to say that this has just been such a good one. I don't think there's a clear winner. I picked Korea at the start when Korea and Rome started well. Right now, if you ask me to pick which civ would be doing better at turn 1,000, I have no idea. Because Rome has the biggest army, but I don't know. But that is not going to be it just yet, because I'm just going to quickly do the religion, and then I'll check the biggest cities just to see if I missed any monster ones. That is always fun. So the fourth religion kind of emerged, but the other ones fell off. So Ethiopia's is now in 82 cities, the most popular. Then 61 for Zoroastrianism from Persia, 53 for Catholicism, so they're kind of close still. And then, yeah, Babylon's religion's kind of come out of... This was at like 5 at one point, so 28 is quite impressive. 2 for Shinto. Which is, I don't know where that would be. That might be Mexico or somewhere with Japan. But there we go. That is that. But that was the last thing I was going to do. Well, no, I was going to check the people, the cities. 37. Okay, nothing crazy. I remember when we used like a bugged. I don't know if they were broken or they just had an OP ability. I think it was like Samoa or someone like that, and they got like 60 something or 50 something. Just because they must have got like bonus food from sea tiles, and they just had an island and loads of sea tiles, and it was just working. But that was funny, but no, nothing too crazy there. 37 is very reasonable, I would say. The top 4 of these cities are all in Africa. I was going to say one in India, but it is Indian, but I think that is the one on the island. That's this one here yet. But okay, that is going to be it for this episode. Now, I'm going to try run it till it kind of dies. Because I think people will want to see that, but it won't be as in-depth a sort of episode as this. It'll be like 2-3 minutes, me flicking through the map, and then I'll try and start a new one for the new year. Good timing. But yeah, I'll do that. So it's not completely over. I will just let it run for a while. But obviously, the longer I let it run, I can't make the next series till this one is done, just because I have to switch the mods and stuff. Technically, with the Rome series still ongoing, I might have to spam a few of those episodes as well to start the next one, but I'll figure it all out. Don't worry, trust me, we'll get there. But yeah, it's not completely over yet. But like I said, there's no definitive winner here. I think this is very close. I mean, again, let's look at score. 2,391, 2,556. I mean, that suits me as a person who picked Korea, but. There you go. I don't think Korea's winning this right now. I think maybe if you'd have done a fair ending when they hit the end of the tech tree, maybe. But that's not. We chose not to. That's absolutely fine. This has been really, really fun. This has definitely been the most unpredictable one for a while. And yeah, I'll try get it to like 500, maybe a little bit more, 550. I won't go forever, but but just to see if something happens. But yeah, this will be the last sort of in-depth check-in. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the series. If you have, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. And as I say that, this island that I was saying, this wonder that Europa just never got. I think someone did say that, someone did mention there's a tile limit to how far, which is kind of, I'm not sure though, because like, that can't be right. Like, you know, I'm not an expert at this, but like, the gap between this city and this tile is a lot less than the gap between this city, or any of these cities, and this tile. So I don't really know how exactly that works. Someone maybe, or maybe I'm just not counting and being dumb. Maybe it is, but this one in particular seems further away. But either way, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.